I remember when I grew up playing the good old Call of Duty, right? You could literally say whatever the fuck you want. Like, you can drop every single slur under the sun at someone, and they'd either mute you, or they'd leave, or they'd drop slurs right back at you. But it was truly an amazing situation, right? Because you had, well, we weren't adult at the times, but you had two people who got on the game who and consented to dropping slurs to each other, right? And this was like 2007, right? I mean, I wasn't too young. But now we live in this age of internet safety where, if you go on, say, a game chat on, say, Call of Duty, it's like they're monitoring everything you say, everything you do. They got your data and they're selling it to third parties. It's this odd age of online safety where you just simply cannot express what you want to people because, oh, they'll just report you for saying the naughty word. Then once you're reported for saying the naughty word, you're banned from the game. And if I'm not mistaken, Activision was like the flagship of that whole operation because what would happen is you'd ban someone, but their entire social life was on the video game, so they'd obviously purchase the game again because it's like there are specific subsect of people who will buy the game even if they're banned the first time. They'll just rebuy it on another account. And but then Activision came out with something else where if you're banned once, you can never go back to playing their game, which is odd because it's like, okay, what were you banned for? Oh, I said the N word, and I got reported and they banned me. Now I'm just not like. Apparently, they don't want me as a customer, right? Like they gladly took my money, but they don't want to treat me with any level of respect that I deserve. If you hear that in the background, it's my dryer or washer. And many companies like Blizzard did this for Overwatch. You know, EA did this for Battlefield. Like, it's this odd time where companies are like, what? We can steal data from our consumers and use it however way we want. And we can use the sake of online safety to take people's money, but then report them and ban them. And again, I believe it was Ubisoft who called the fucking police on their paying fucking customers for alleged harassment in the UK, right? Like, this is how they treat you, the consumer, right? You, someone who works hard for your fucking money. And the company does not respect that. They just want your money. And now they want to spit on you and moralize to you. It's like, this is such an odd situation we're in. But it's odd what the Call of Duty's doing that, right? Because it's like, oh, you will never be able to come back on any profile you start. And it's like, okay, so what does that mean? Well, I assume you're going to need to put uh like a email or use your date of birth or whatever type of ID or things that they use to ensure that doesn't happen. Right, but this doesn't fix the problem, right? The problem, at least for me, hackers are what make games just universally worse, right? And it universally ruins the experience for everybody in the game. Not two consenting adults saying slurs to each other, right? Because, again, two consenting parties deciding to play a game, and this is over the internet, right? Like, nothing's really happening. But they go after that. But then again, you have hackers like in Apex Legends. For some reason, they can never fix their hackers. But God forbid you say the N word. Because you say the N word, they'll put your ass on blast. Or in the case of Ubisoft, they'll call the fucking police on you. They'll call the goddamn 5 on you. A paying fucking customer. But, I mean, that's either here nor there. So, and again, I personally don't care for all the things happening in Call of Duty. Look, Call of Duty has far lost the plot. Activision has far lost the plot. And if I'm not mistaken, they got acquired by Microsoft, and Microsoft's no better. So I doubt we'll get many products. Oh yeah, and they're also turning Call of Duty into effectively Fortnite, which is probably the worst decision. Look, they're trying to make the product as corporate as humanly possible. Even Lucy's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You're talking about this goofy ass game. And it's like, yes, Lucy, yes, I am. But again, they want to make the product as corporate, as cheap, and they demand your $70 fucking dollars. And again, for some reason, people defend this, right? Like, I don't, like, you ever find it weird that when a consumer shits on a company, they portray it as, oh, a couple of online trolls. But if the company shits on the consumer, it's like, oh yeah, you're sticking it to the fascist, the racist, the sexist, the insert emotionally charged word here. Like, people rarely defend the consumer for some reason, but people will come out the woodwork to defend a multi-billion-dollar fucking corporation. Like I said this to a friend, right? There's always, if every time I read an article about a game, and these are on my YouTube channel, every time I read an article about a game, and I check the comments, there's that one shill that will just go after anyone who shits on the product, right? Or even about anything. You'll just have that one person that's just debate brain going against the grain. Like they're the free thinker, and they're like, okay, what are they doing? Well, they're defending a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Ah, yes. What a free thinker thou art. But, and believe it or not, there's people that defend fucking Call of Duty for some fucking reason. I mean, they put out a objectively worse product every year just to compete. And I guess now that Microsoft acquired them, it'll be even more corporate, even more Fortnite-y, have less soul than before. And at the end of the day, the consumer suffers, right? Because the idea of IP is to sell merch. Like, this offsets the cost of having to charge $70 or harvest information and data from people and charge it and sell it to companies. It's like, you actually have a good product and you make good artwork of it, people are willing to pay for that. And again, I always go back to the Ubisoft CEO or former CEO talking about tipping a game. It's like, this is how you do it. You play, like, people vote with their wallets, and there are good games that, sell their artwork and sell their stuff, and people are like, yeah, I want more of this, right? And I don't mind putting my money towards this. And that's how it should be done. But again, we live in this new age where the consumer is not really the customer. It's like they're trying to pander to this small fringe minority of people that don't exist. And again, they try letting companies like Activision think that, oh no, we're the majority, but they're really not. The majority of people are turning away from Western entertainment and moving towards, Eastern entertainment. It's where the money's going, and they might try to impose rules on, say, anime or like other Eastern projects just to try conforming to the American bullshit. But again, if that happens, people will learn Japanese. In the case of anime, they will learn another language just to avoid this. And it's also sad because, that anime studio needs to make money, so people are like, oh, well, I'll just pirate it. It's like, okay, well, if you pirate the product, the company making it isn't making money, and unfortunately, they need money. And in the case of anime, it's not as popular in Japan as I think it should be. Like, their main consumer base are Americans, which makes it even shittier that, again, American censors that do not poll the people. They does not poll, the consumers. They have their ideological rules they want to impose on anime, and they just demand these things, right? They demand that anime enact these goofy ass rules on Crunchyroll. That again, at the end of the day, it just makes the art worse. It makes the product worse. Nothing of value comes out of this. Then I guess to grease the pocket of the diversity hire or the consultants that apparently you're just forced, like, you need to have. Once you have the consultants, you can make whatever the fuck you want, but if you don't, then they treat it like a racketeering business. It's like, oh, well, it'd be ashamed if you got allegations of sexism, wink, 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 wink. We wouldn't want that to happen, wink, 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 wink. They're like, oh, yeah, I see how this is being done. And obviously, Microsoft, Activision, they have these consultants in the bag. Like, they don't put anything towards, the product. I mean, other than shoving it out, but they don't care to compete. It's like all these multi-billion-dollar entertainment companies conform, and what you get is the same fucking corporate product. So right now, again, it's everything becoming fucking Fortnite. Because, yeah, we totally just need everything to become Borderlands, everything to become Fortnite. It's what's happening, again, with BioWare and the new Dragon Age. Again, it's becoming cartoony, it's becoming Fortnite, it's becoming mobile game-esque. And and mobile, don't get me wrong, mobile games and games like, no, in my last video, First Descendant is giving the consumers what they want. I mean, as much as they want to impose and enforce their standards on everybody else, again, people vote with their wallet, and they will universally vote against these things. And, well, if they're too big to fail, then I guess they'll just keep throwing money to the ether, but, and I'm all for it. But again, the point of capitalism is you have choice. You can choose to watch this, or you can choose to watch that. But again, they want to take away your choice, which is what Microsoft is doing when they're buying up IPs and they're shutting down companies. It's like they hold on to the IPs and hold them close to your bosom. But at the end of the day, you don't really have a choice anymore. But, I mean, that's all I gotta say about this. It's just odd where we've gone as an entertainment industry. And as consumers, people are waking up to this and being like, so why would I put my money towards a company that just hates me? Like, why not put my money towards, say, the Japanese man slaving away 12 hours at a computer? Or the South Korean man slaving away, at their fucking computers to put out a fucking product that I might actually want. Now, why am I giving it to these corporate American hacks that don't actually add to art, they don't add to the industry. They just leech the money off of the consumer. I mean, I don't know. But that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.